We got another solve analysis. We got Max Shaw. If you guys don't know, Northwest Phenom. He's 12 years old, getting pretty solid. He's low seven now on 3x3, I think. He's getting pretty good. His hands are a little small for big cubes, but we got a 310 7x7 mean. He says TPS is decent. Worst part is edges. Right, he essentially does broken edges, so we're just gonna tell him to stop doing that. 2.5 years, 7 to 14 hours. That's actually like kind of low. Max, you should practice a little more. Actually, 2.5 years to maxes. To get into our maxes in 2.5 years on only 1 to 2 hours a day is like really impressive. That's a really fast improvement. You should pump those numbers up. You're still in school. You got like forever. Get so much time. So much time. All right, so let's check it out. Yo, what's up? Kitstopher, thanks for the... Yeah, Kid knows him. All right, we got Max here. Got that stack mat. This looks like a... One sec. It looks like a Haze 7. Good, Max. That's what we like to see. Okay, let's see what we got at the start here. Like, Max is pretty solid, and I know Max is like... I know Max is pretty serious about cubing in general. I don't know what he's specifically... I don't know his goals for 7x7. I know, like, he's certainly on a path to be, like, one of the best 3x3 solvers in the world, considering he's only 12 and he's, like, top 50 now, I think. So, we're just going to assume that his goals are to at least get under 230. Let's say we're going to do this analysis as if his main goal is to get sub 230. He's at 310 right now, and he's pretty serious, so I think that's pretty reasonable. I'm going to bet, though, he turns way too fast. Also, Max, not the greatest GoPro. Max, you wear a GoPro like your entire life. Shouldn't you have a little better at the GoPro angle? Like, the cube just like really high in the shot, but it's fine. Okay. Right here, there's no reason to do, this is fine. Okay, so just a couple things right here. These are, I'm gonna get pretty nitpicky at this, because, I'm gonna be pretty nitpicky on Max's one. So right here. This is just a quick thing, like, Max does a U prime and then a U2, but the, like, really, which is just the same as the U. This thing, don't do any moves unless you know what you're doing beforehand. Just, like, I mean, CBS isn't too fast, but, like, that's just, like, a thing right there. Right here, you got this, so essentially, right. Okay, so he's got 4 pieces right here, right? And then Max has another F2. This F2 doesn't do anything. Like, slicing into this piece right here is the same, essentially, difficulty as slicing into the right side. Like, this left wing and the right wing, same difficulty. Doing the F2 doesn't actually do anything unless you to directly set up the next move, but he just does the F2 and he does not know where the next piece is coming, so that's not actually useful. Because, see, now, like, it didn't actually make a difference. This is good. I don't think it was on purpose, but he did pull down that yellow piece. I'm pretty sure this wasn't on purpose, but I want to mention this because it's a good idea. So right here, okay, so we're right here, and the bars, this left bar is coming down, and so it kind of just like happens to be so it pulls down the only yellow piece into the not. So if you're working on yellow first, you don't want any yellow pieces on the white face because that's the worst. Oh, what's up, Max? Max is here. So you can, Max, if you want to write out like 2 or 3 sentences about your main goals for 7x7 real quick and just post them in chat, that'd be great. Just like broad goals, what you want, like where you want to be in 3 months, where you want to be in a year, where you want to be in 4 years, say that, or 2 years or whatever. So yeah, pulling this yellow piece down is good. Just a quick note, if this yellow piece was like over here or something, it'd definitely be worth doing the U prime to get, if there's only 1 yellow piece and it's on an outer bar, make sure you get it over here. It's already there in this case, but just want to mention it's definitely worth it in the future to make sure you do that on purpose as well. Okay, nice stuff. No. Okay, so this is a common thing to where people, like, I recommend doing this to newer cubers, but I think people don't switch off of it fast enough, in my opinion. Okay, so we're right here, right? And, okay, so this is the kind... Max, it's a little hard to see. Because this is the kind of advanced case. Okay, you can't even see the top of the key. But essentially there's, like... You essentially got... whatever, I don't need this. He's got 4... He's got 4 outer pieces made. Like, he's got on one of his outer bars, he has 4 to 5 made. He just needs to add the corner. I think Max is probably, Max can tell you right now in chat, let me know. Do you always do middle bar first? Because this is definitely a case where you wouldn't do middle bar first. It is more advanced though, because when you do the outer bar first in this one, you're gonna have two like middle pieces kind of stuck in the top layer. So you definitely want to do middle bar next on this one. Like in that case, you do outer bar first and then middle bar. Max, you're fast enough at this point to where locking yourself in the middle bar first isn't a good idea. It's gonna take you a little bit of time to figure out like. It's essentially like middle bar first is just an easy way of keeping, like I mentioned this in my video specifically about middle bar. It's just like you have to pay attention to which center pieces are locked in the U face for middle bar, and doing middle bar first is a really easy way to get around that. But you don't have to do middle bar first. You just have to now be tracking like here. Actually, I will set this up. This is actually like important. Like getting stopping not doing middle bar first is, I think, pretty important, especially, and it's something that's like a little trickier to get used to. But keeping not doing middle bar first is like, so. Oh, 1 sec. Let's say we're here. What am I doing? Okay, so like let's say we have like this case, right? So we have this outer bar done. And now we have this piece and this outer piece. What this means is that both, okay, so essentially there are 4 of these pieces, the middle outer pieces, and there are 4 of the inner middle pieces, right? And you need 2 of them in the E layer in order to be able to make your middle bar, because you don't want to use any of these pieces on top to make the bar you're making. So right now we already have 2 locked up here. So we want to, like, right now we could do another bar first, and that's fine. But I'd recommend starting to think about middle bar. Like here we'd probably go, probably do like now. So now we have an entire middle bar is done. So we still have enough pieces to make the middle bar. This would be a bad state. Say we were in this position right here. Now you can see that there's only 2 pieces in the middle that's down here, and now we have messed up. But that's just kind of, you should track that stuff when you're doing it. All right. Good. Pull out that bar. Oh, that's unfortunate. I think it looked like that was just a mistake. That's fine. It's good stuff. I like this right here. This stuff is important. Right here, Max he makes this last bar with an R prime UY. That's good stuff. Right here though, 1 second, let me double check this. No, it's fine. Never mind, it's fine. Okay, it's fine. I'm not sure. Okay, so. Right, so, oh, no, 1 sec. He does something unnecessary. Okay, so right here. God dang it. Max, the camera angle is not ideal, but. So right here, Max is going to finish, and there's 1 of these middle pieces in the top face, and you don't actually need to pull this down right now. Max pulled it down next. That's unnecessary. That's the 2 slice moves is unnecessary. All the pieces you need to make your next bar are already in the E layer. Don't pull pieces down at the U face unless you have to. That's kind of like, it will make it harder to find the next piece, but it just saves moves, and if you can make up for it with the fluidity, it'll be better, so. Blue, good. Nope. Oh, well. Not a huge deal. What the? Oh, she's making that back. Wow, great angle. Alright, saving that orange. I like that. Put it on right. Nice, nice. I like that. That was good. Save the orange. This is really bad angle, though. What the? He messed up real quick. Oh. What the hell? Wait, what? Why did you do? Wait, switch to. Okay, this is weird. What the? Okay, I'm confused. What just happened right here? This is just like. Max just like makes a huge mistake right here. This is just clearly a mistake. I think this is PB though, which is unfortunate. So, like when he gets to here, now he has like you don't do this weird rotation thing. That's bad. You have an orange bar, the outer orange bar already made on orange center at this point. Like, or this orange bar is right here on orange center. Wait, are you building orange? Wait, oh you're doing orange on top. Wait, are you? Okay. Well, you break up that blue bar for no reason. The blue bar was already made. You break that up, and then you do. And then you make red instead of orange. Like, you should have just finished. Blue was already done and had an orange bar, so you should have just done orange. Like, I thought you were saving the orange bars. That was just weird. I doubt that's something you normally do. That was just, it was clearly a mistake, so I'm not gonna bother. It's like, I'm sure you don't normally do that. Ah, no! What the... Oh my god, Max! Okay. This is the big thing also. So, locking yourself in the middle first on last two is really bad. Like, here's a great example. You see this? Max is 4 moves away from having 2 green bars done. He has his 2x1 right there. This 2x1 would have matched up with that 4x2 right here. See that 4x2 right there? He could have made the 4x2. He could have made the 5x2 on the left like almost instantly, but instead he does a lot of slice moves and moves to get his middle bar done. You definitely, I have a video about this. Definitely do not do middle bar first on last two unless it's like super easy. I almost always do I almost always build a 2x5 on the left at the start, and I don't actually think it's that tricky. Like doing 2x5s, I don't really recommend until you're much more advanced, but on last two centers, it's very easy because of how many blocks are already made. So that should be an option for you to do. Wow, easy last two center case, not bad. All right. Okay, I think this is really... So, that was kind of weird. Finger tricks are pretty solid. Doing a couple rotations for... I'm actually impressed with Max's TPS, because I watched him do 3x3, and he turns really fast, but his TPS for 7x7 on edges... A big thing is a lot of kids, like, can turn their 7x7 pretty quickly, and so they do, even though there's no reason to, because they're getting way ahead of themselves. But Max's TPS, as you can see, it's pretty fluid. I like it a lot. It's actually a correct amount of TPS here. I like that. That was good. But couple like nitpicky little things. Right there. Actually, that was great timing. Just you can't be doing that rotation for the. You gotta do thumb. You're right there. Max is doing that rotation. I mentioned this like every video. He does a rotation to do the F prime. No, you gotta do that. Use thumbs. Always use thumbs. I know maybe your hands aren't big enough. I'm not quite sure about this, but you just gotta use thumbs. It might be weird for now, but it'll get like you don't want to switch later. It's better honestly to handicap yourself now while you're like small, and your hands will get bigger in like a year or two. You'll be fine. By the time, like I think based on it depends on what you exactly want to do, but based on Max's trajectory right now, it won't make a difference. Like it'll be important for him to be using his thumb. By the time it's really important for him to be using his thumb, he'll already be older and it'll be really good. And I think it's okay to like do something non-optimal right now because of your hand size, just to get used to it, so it kind of naturally progresses as you get older. A little hard to guess for sure because I'm not an expert at small hands, but other than that, Max already mentioned this. He's pretty adamant. He like does a lot of partial edges, meaning he'll build 3 pieces of an edge and switch. I really don't like this. So I've never like really heavily investigated into which one is the fact that it's explicitly bent. Like it's definitely worse, but I'm very confident it's worse to build partial edges. I really think you should build like the thing is the only reason it'd be better is if you can't find the pieces to finish your edge. And if you're like the best 7x7 solver, you will always find your next piece almost instantly. So in my solving, there's very, very rare cases where I will like stop an edge I'm currently working on to do a different edge, and that's only when it's like literally I see all the pieces of the other edge and I can make it instantly and go back. Really, just like this is just something that you gotta stop doing immediately. You just gotta decide I'm no longer making partial edges. I'm doing full edges. Like I'm only making a full edge. The only reason you ever not like you'd stop the edge you're doing is if you can. If you see all 5 pieces of the next edge and you can do that one and then go back to the edge you're currently on, that's all right. But I just say you can't do just like doing partial edges isn't good. All right, I like the UI primes. Good finger tricks there. Good stuff. Like that should have been. That's not bad. Hand size is really killing me. Yeah. Dude, learn your last 2 edge cases. Unless you knew that was a double parity case. Also, I feel like you need to tighten this cube, I'm not sure. Also, become color neutral. Max, become color neutral. Become color neutral, Max. Become color neutral. Become color neutral. Also, that was really surprising that you got a PB on that solve, considering you definitely wasted like a solid like 5 or 6 seconds on your centers. Just making like a big mistake. So honestly, you definitely have a lot of time to drop. That should have been like low 250 or mid 250. Okay, so let's see. So another thing. So I'm assuming you didn't know that this was the last, like this is gonna give you a double parity. Like this is a double parity case. I'm assuming you didn't know that from looking at it. Even if you did know it, you just so just learn your last 2 edge cases from 5x5, because what you should do in this case is you should solve your last 2 edge case, solve your inner last 2 edge case, and then solve your outer last 2 edge case. If you do know that this is a double parity case, you can do the inner slice 5x5 case, which will do both parities for you. Other than that, like just the way you should do last 2 edges on 7, unless you're like literally under like 210, is do your first 5x5 set of edges, then do your second 5x5 set of edges, and just know your parity cases. Know all your last 2 edge cases. There's a note about this 3x3. Also, like, yeah, doing slice up slice and MU2 M prime for this, which you mentioned, is fine at this speed. I would recommend definitely learning some cycles, which you already mentioned, but there's not really too much specific. Like, you don't do any cycles, so really all I'd recommend is just watch the videos I already have out on cycles and whatnot, because I'd just be me regurgitating the same stuff I've already said right now. Right here, probably wouldn't do, like, doing this pair right here, the red and green pair, is bad because it's, like, it's not, like, I guess it's not too bad. Okay, because you may unmake that one. That's fine. It's fine. It's fine. That's a terrible alg for that case. I'd recommend learning a big cube. If you want to learn more big cube stuff, learn some big cube algs for OLL and PLL, but not, like, that's pretty much just like, if you want to do it, if you really want to be serious about big cubes, you gotta learn your big cube OLL PLLs. There's a bunch of algs on Felix's site, so those are pretty good. I just pick up those. But I just like learn the algs if you're serious. If you're not a huge deal, but it is gonna save you much time. Some lockups. Oh, that lockup, yeah, tighten your cube, dude. Your cube's too loose. It should literally be you should make it as tight as possible without it like feeling really slow. And honestly, you can make it really tight. Honestly, I think that's like half the reason people don't like it is because they haven't tightened it properly. Or like anyone who doesn't like it is like they just didn't tighten it enough or something. I don't know. Anyways, okay, not bad. Actually, was that avoidable? Let's check if that was a really slow third bar is what I'm looking at. Yeah. Oh, Max, this is really important actually. So Felix's doc does not present the same alg for that specific OLO case. I'm almost positive. Let me double check. Almost positive because I used the one on his site. It doesn't. I'm looking at it right now. I'm almost like Max has had a M in it. Are you on the big cube OLLs, not the OLLs? It's got you gotta be on big cube OLLs right there. Okay, what was I missing? This is really important. So right here, you have this. There's no yellow pieces in the top except this bar and this piece right here. You gotta pull out this piece. This is super important. Like, do a U2 to pull out this piece because you end up pulling it out later. You gotta pull out this piece. Make sure you're always paying attention to how you're inserting your bars. Gotta pull out this piece. Really important. Because, yeah, see, now you do have to do that later, and that's uncomfortable. Right here, just a quick thing. Right here, all you have are these two pieces, and you want to match up these two pieces. And you do, like, an RY, like, you essentially match them up to where this corner goes to here, and now they're not together. L wide, U, L wide. Or L wide prime, U, L wide. And now they'll be adjacent right here. You always want to make them adjacent, because you make them, like, out here, here, in this corner, and here. Now you have to do slice moves to put them up. Always put them together first. Because now, see, you got some awkward slice moves and dealio. Turning a little fast for my liking here. Right here, just this case. You're turning a little fast here, which is why I think you're missing some of these easier stuff. Right here, essentially you have, instead of doing this L wide, do a U prime and then do an L wide and an R wide, and that'll R wide prime and that'll solve it. Because now you essentially then you pull that out. That was totally avoidable. Good. Orange is obviously a good choice. Honestly, I think you're turning too fast in centers. Your edge speed is pretty. Your edge TBS is pretty good. I like it, but your center speed TBS is too fast. Right here, don't want to use that. Like right, see that these three are already together. Fine. There's another piece. Like this is making your last bar. There's another piece that you can do it. Don't break that up. See now you have to like redo more slices to that. Find the other piece first for that. Green. Oh, dude, there's no reason to do. Even if you were doing, since you are doing, I wouldn't do middle first here, but since you are doing middle first, okay, U, right? Do an M, like you can solve this all in one because you have this piece is down underneath your thumb. Do the L wide prime, M, U, M prime, L wide. Okay, that was better. Good. What the hell? Oh, that was unfortunate. Like you're doing a lot. You're just doing a lot of slice moves that I don't really like. What that was so. Your last two centers are bad. Sorry, Max. Wait, what the? Also, don't do like that. Right if you're in this position right here. So like you did. So do a U and then R wide from here to R wide U prime, R wide prime, and now you'll get these the 2x1 right here and then the 3x2 right here. There won't be any slice moves. See now you're here and you have to do a slice move. But if you did it the other way, there'd be no slice move. And it'd be just faster in general. Oh, dude, your last two centers are killing me. R wide. Like you have the pieces right there. Oh my god. MU2 M prime. Nope. Okay, Max. Yeah, your last two centers are like right here. MU2 M prime for sure. Just like make this 2x5, and then you can kind of see what you're working with after that. Like I just know what's gonna happen if you did the MU2 M prime, and then you're here, and you have the 2x1 right here. You gotta look at your F center. You gotta look at your F center. This is important because R wide 3 right here will just make this bar immediately. But you do that, and then you do essentially just like you gotta centers. Like honestly, I'm surprised your center TBS is way too high. Usually it's like the opposite, where your edge TBS is like too fast and your center TBS is fine. But like your center TBS is way too fast. Like, and you're missing a lot of easy stuff. You're doing way too many slices. Like just like the options you're picking are not only more moves, but they are more moves and they are using a slice, which is just like more risky and slower and just like a lot of moves. I'm definitely got to tone down the TBS on centers. I'm gonna take a look at some splits after this as well. Oh, it's already been 25 minutes. Holy crap! Might just go over two. I might just watch the last one because this is the last one's probably more of the same. Kind of big pause there. Same thing with the finger tricks. Not putting 4 on one side I think is good. 310, you're pretty fast, so I'd recommend. I like this stuff. That's a prime. Yeah, slice up slice is really rough on 7, especially when you're only doing one piece at a time, like you kind of are. Like, oh, dude, learn your last two. Oh, that's kind of lucky. But color neutral, Sam X, color neutral, become color neutral. Oh, always do parity before you start your 3x3, because then it allows you for more look ahead into cross. Always do parity first. Always do parity first. Always parity first. Gotta check this out. Let's check this one out. Okay, 10. Holy crap, 140 on a 3-minute solve? That's a lot. Yeah, this is kind of what I was bet. Yeah, tighten this cube also for sure. 327. Dude, your last two centers in the solver is taking like 8 years. Okay, so 40 and 140 and 141 for centers. That's, yeah, your edges are definitely a lot stronger, and your edges will definitely improve when you stop doing like your kind of the thing I already mentioned. So 54. That was like a 15-second last two centers, and like you were moving pretty fast. The TPS was fast, but like just a lot of extra moves that didn't need to be done. So definitely centers are the main part to work on. I think the edit has actually been pretty solid overall. We're just gonna go through this one, see what we see. If there's anything interesting. Like the TPS, like it just you're turning about as fast as I do on centers. I think maybe like you're turning at like a similar speed, honestly, to me, which should give you an idea of like the inefficiencies because I average like a minute on centers. Like right there, that's a lot of moves to that middle bar as well. Just so many moves. I think it's the same thing as before. I think. Yeah, make sure you should do a. There's no yellow pieces on the second bar. Do a ly. Do an ly 3 to remove this, and you'll pull out this piece as well. That's important. Yeah, that saved you that extra slice. Essentially, you just did it again, but it would have saved you a slice right there. All right, this one's better. Blue's looking. This blue center is looking a lot, but this is your cleanest center by far out of all. So just a quick note right here. So on the bottom part, on the bottom face, you have this piece, and this piece. So right here, you should do and like you have freedom on the right side. Do an RY2, then do an L prime, and then do an M2. Instead, you do like this. Like this is just kind of a mistake where you don't realize that this right side right here is free. You're working on your first center, so you can do whatever you want with this right side. Like right here, you see you do like what's the point? There's no doing this U and then this R2. That doesn't do anything. Like there's nothing that doesn't actually accomplish anything at all. You could just done the R2 and then do the U prime and then do the M2. That's like really big when you're working on your first center. It's really important to notice stuff like that. Like doing this, you do R2, U prime, M2, and that'll solve the whole bar, and you'll have the M2 off. But like it's really important. I've mentioned this to a lot of like better 7x7 solvers as well, especially when you're working on your first and your second centers. You don't always have to reset your centers to be correct. You just, as long as you're not breaking up any of the bars, and you can make your next bar and then reset your centers at the end when you finish small. The only thing that matters is you solve to your free slice state, which almost always is like them all being solved. But I'm just saying it's not a mandatory thing that most people like are kind of stuck in, which is bad. Okay, I like that. This does better. Just a lot of what the hell? Holy dude. It's just the same thing. It's just you're turning too fast. You're missing stuff. Middle bar there really hurt you again. Okay, this is the biggest thing. This is one of the biggest things on a 7x7 last two centers is that you have pieces in the U face and the F face, but you're like, if you see the piece in the U face, you'll use it no matter how much better the piece on the F face is. Like, this corner is like the worst case for this. It's in the U face and it's like in this spot. Like, you don't even like you don't even look at the F face, but like this piece right here would have been better for sure. Like you gotta look at the U and the F face and pick the best option. You're only looking at the U face, the F face if there's no good option on U, but you gotta look at both. That's like really important for the last two centers. Hey, the camera angle is working now. This one, like, your edges are actually, you're turning a little fast now on edges. The edges in your first one, I think, the edges in the first one were really smooth and a good TPS. I think you started to pick up the speed. I really think you should turn slower. Just definitely turn slower. You're turning too fast. Like, you're turning, again, on these edges, you're turning about as fast as I do, and I turn too fast for my speed, so that's, yeah. Turn slower for sure. I was commenting the speed in the first one, but you definitely, like, started speeding up or something. Maybe you're getting nervous or something, but turn slower for sure. I think the overall for edges are pretty solid. Like, your recognition and your selection. Well, your selection I can't comment on too much because, like, you're doing weird stuff. But the recognition overall is pretty solid, so I think that's good work. Definitely, like, look up some of the videos on cycling. And then make sure you're not building those partial edges. We already went over the partial edge thing. A little poor recognition right there. Build inners and outers. I already mentioned that too. The biggest thing, like, yeah. Okay, so let's finish. Let's see if there's anything weird here. It's a better big cube level up for that. I'd recommend doing wrists. Alright, so overall pretty solid stuff. Biggest thing, the centers, a lot of inefficiencies in centers, a lot of extra moves. You're turning as fast as I am, but like really take like, I don't know, like a week or something and just like go slow on centers and really realize what you're doing with every move. Try out different options, because a lot of this stuff, like I mentioned a lot of specific points, but like there's so many center cases that you gotta figure out them for yourself at least a little bit. You're doing way more slice moves. Like in every option where you could do a slice move, you're basically like forcing slice moves. Like instead of there's like two options and they're both the same, and you haven't even like one is not even like more preferred over the other, and you're like forcing the slice move almost. Really important to stop doing that stuff and doing way too many moves. There's a lot of efficiencies I've already mentioned there. Turn slower to get kind of used to that stuff. Edges are pretty solid. I like the look ahead. Turn a little slower as well. Just like turn slower overall in general. Gotta work on not doing the broken edges, doing all 5 pieces at once. Other than that, last 4 cycles or need like your slice is fine. You need to like start incorporating some cycles. I got videos out on that. And then for last 2, learn your 5x5 edge cases. Do your first set of 5x5 edges, then do your second set of 5x5 edges. And 3x3 is pretty solid.